The Kamvas Pro 19 from Huion hits a new sweet spot for someone looking for a display tablet with pro features, a great drawing experience, and at a good size and price. Let's take a look and draw some stuff. Hey, Ryan here. So not too long ago I reviewed the Kamvas 13 Gen 3, which really impressed me, particularly because of that PenTech 4.0 in the stylus. Huion then sent over their Kamvas Pro 19 with the same PenTech inside and a few extra features. And its size is actually something that I really like about it. While not necessarily a big tablet, it's the largest one that I've used so far, with the overall size being around 45 by 27 centimeters and 2.1 centimeters thick. The display size is 18.4 inches across with a 16 by 9 aspect ratio. It's a good size that gives plenty of drawing area without the tablet dominating my whole desk. It's got a 4K 60Hz display that has great colors for my use anyway. Maybe it's not quite at the level that's required for those professionals that need real color accuracy, but for most I think this is more than fine. It's got 99% sRGB, 96% Adobe RGB, and 98% DCI-P3, supporting a range of over 1 billion colors. The screens are calibrated at the factory and they provide you with this calibration report in this fancy envelope that comes with the tablet. The display has this nice anti-glare etched glass that adds just enough of a slight texture that feels good to draw on without compromising the image quality, which can happen if there's too much texture. And it's fully laminated, meaning there's no parallax between the pen tip and the cursor. On the top side of the tablet, we have a power button and a switch for the touch feature. A long press of the power button brings up this menu for adjusting brightness and colors quickly when you need to. Around the back, we have a nice, really premium feeling aluminium alloy casing. It's got these fold-out legs, which give you about a 20-degree drawing angle. But for more versatility, you do have VESA holes as well to attach a monitor arm or a sturdier stand like this one from the Huion store. It's quite slim, and while I obviously wouldn't call it portable in the way that an iPad is, the Kamvas Pro 19 does fit inside my backpack to take with me on a trip, and it doesn't weigh too much, around 2 kilograms. The power and cabling part is what reduces the portability a bit, because this can't run on a single USB powered only by my laptop. The tablet has 2 USB-C ports and a headphone jack. The one USB-C port is for power, and I have this running to an outlet. The other is for the display and input data. But the Kamvas Pro 19 has reverse charging, so with the right laptop, you can run power just from your outlet to the tablet, and then charge your laptop through the tablet if it can charge by USB-C. With my hungry ROG Strix G16, it's not enough power, I have to have both connected to the wall. For drawing, you get 2 pens in this rather nice case. You can stand your pens in it. There are some extra nibs inside, including felt ones. You can remove them by flipping the case over and you have this little thingamajig on the underside. The one pen has that typical tapered design with a wider silicone grip, and it's got 3 buttons instead of just 2 like here on the slim pen. Both of them have erasers on the back. The pen that comes with the Kamvas 13 and 16 Gen 3s is only slightly different to this in that it doesn't have an eraser on the back. And they all draw really well. Here in Clip Studio Paint, the pressure response is great. This PenTech 4.0 has a 2 grams initial activation force and 16,000 levels of pressure sensitivity. So with very little pressure, I can already start getting a mark, and going from light to heavy and thick and back to light is all very smooth and predictable. I can keep consistent pressure and get consistent line weight. There's 60 degrees of tilt support and auto tilt compensation, so even as you tilt the pen, the cursor remains below the pen tip. Something that was pointed out by the peeps in the Drawing Tablet Discord server was that the pressure curve here by default isn't set to the 0 point in the corner. It's actually slightly to the right, suggesting that the initial activation might be set slightly higher. Adjusting it back and forth a few times, I didn't really pick up on much difference in the performance of my lines. Back in the driver, there's more that you can adjust, like what your pen buttons can do. You can even create custom on-screen menus for shortcuts. But if you need more than that, Huion included the Keydal Mini K20 remote. It's not bad, you've got lots of options here, a decent number of buttons, a dial that you can cycle through functions with. It's compatible with Android and iPad too, but it does feel a bit on the cheaper side. And yeah, it's not going to be replacing this. Something else to note about the driver, and this is important, if you've been using any other tablets before, you're going to want to remove the drivers for those first. I did notice some conflict between the Huion drivers and my Wacom drivers, which meant that I couldn't get any pressure sensitivity on the Huion tablet. Back to sketching, it feels really good. I'm using the slimmer pen here, it handles fast light strokes really well. I'm busy sketching out some ideas here with the African penguin. I made a sticker pack around these fellas a few years ago, and I think it would be cool to do an updated version of this sometime soon. The touch responds really well too on Windows. Zooming is pretty smooth, undo and other actions register normally, and I can easily hit different interface elements with my finger instead of my pen if I need to. With the heat we've been having here recently, I am getting quite a few fingerprints on the surface, but it's no problem because Huion have included this solid microfiber cloth. There's also a really nice drawing glove here that has extra padding running along the whole side of the hand and pinky finger to prevent those accidental touch actions. Now I did have some trouble with the touch input registering on my main monitor instead of on the tablet, and there are two solutions for this. One is to set the Kamvas Pro 19 as your primary display in your display settings, or you can open up the control panel, find the tablet PC option, go to setup and follow the instructions to set touch to the correct display. Moving on to some painting, this time with the broader pen. I'm also using the felt pen nibs, which add just a little bit more friction to the drawing experience. And I've jumped into Magma, where I've had this piece waiting for me to come back to. I started it out when I first got the tablet a few months ago. It's combining the African penguin with elements of a lionfish to become this sort of ocean deity. It's carrying a clump of skulls too, because, well, skulls make everything a bit cooler, right? After painting with it for a while, I definitely like the size of the tablet. It's not only about more room to draw, but also having space for dockers and setting panels so that they're open and easily accessible. Or in my case, I have my references open on this same screen rather than on my other monitor. Just to compare here quickly, here is the Kamvas Pro 19 next to the 16 Gen 3 and the Kamvas 13 Gen 3. I did find the drawing angle okay, but not really to my liking. I propped it all up with a box underneath the legs to make it a bit steeper, and that was more comfortable for me. So wrapping up, I think this is a fantastic tablet. The drawing experience with these pens is really good, especially on this etched glass surface. The touch input is smooth and responsive, and this size I find to be quite convenient, though I would probably recommend getting a stand or a monitor arm just to give you a bit of a better drawing angle. The controller though, this feels a bit on the cheap side for a tablet that feels so premium. So I think it might be a good idea if Huion switched this out for their new key dial remote. Looking at the competition, you can get something the same size from XP Pen for a bit less. The Artist Pro 19 is cheaper and can run on a single USB-C cable, but you lose the touch input. It's not a necessary feature at all, but I definitely appreciate having it, especially when I'm testing things across multiple devices, all of which have touchscreens. So overall, I think the Kamvas Pro 19 is pretty solid value for all that it offers, and I think it would serve you well. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to get back to painting. Ciao for now.